Hello, this is Randy Singh reporting here in Huddersfield for KLTV. I'm here today at the George Hotel in Huddersfield Town Centre. Today will be the launch of the Rugby World Cup for 2013 and also the plaque to celebrate the birth of Rugby League will take place here.
My role today is to launch the trophy tour for the Rugby League World Cup in 2013. We've brought it to Huddersfield and the George Hotel because that's the birthplace of the game. We think that's the ideal starting point for a heritage tour, promoting the World Cup next year but also reflecting on the sports history. Members of the public and the guests here today are going to see a recreation of the meeting where Rugby League was actually formed in the George Hotel behind us. After that they'll be able to actually have their picture taken with the trophy, the Rugby League World Cup trophy that's going to be presented next year to the winning team. And we're also going to be unveiling a blue heritage plaque marking the George Hotel as the birthplace of Rugby League back in 1895. In the square we're going to have a lot of activity for young people to be able to try out some rugby related activity as well as having the picture taken with the trophy. Just really low level introduction to the sport to raise awareness of it and hopefully get more people interested in playing rugby league as youngsters. As a rugby fan I think it's absolutely fantastic that we've got an England game in the World Cup, a high profile game in Huddersfield which is the birthplace of rugby league. It's so important that the town's recognised for its unique position within the sport, and this is a great opportunity for us to actually engage with more young people, get them interested in playing rugby league or supporting rugby league, and just really grow the sport locally, because it's not just in Huddersfield, in Batley and Dewsbury as well. It's a sport that's actually absolutely integral to our communities locally.
On the 29th of August 1895, here at the George Hotel, 21 of the leading clubs in the country, based in the north of England, met here and decided to form a new rugby organisation, the Northern Rugby Union, which we know today as the Rugby League. It decided that it was going to pay players and also that they were going to reform the rules to make the game more skillful, more exciting and more interesting for both players and spectators. At the time, a lot of people said it's not going to last, the game will die. Well, 117 years later, we're still here. A lot of people said it would never spread beyond Yorkshire and Lancashire. And here we are again to launch the 14th Rugby League World Cup.
Right, ready? 1, 2, 3! Yeah!
Today marks the start of our trophy tour, obviously at the home or the birthplace of Rugby League here in Huddersfield. We're almost 12 months to go now till the tournament kicks off on the 26th of October next year at the Millennium Stadium. Our trophy tour will be seen by approximately 4 million people following today's launch, and it was really important for us to get back to the heritage of the game, and that's why we decided to start here in Huddersfield. We started the bid process in January 2011. Kirklees bid, as many other consortia did. It was an incredibly competitive process. We decided to bring England here to the John Smith Stadium on Saturday the 2nd of November next year when we face Ireland. We believe it's a great prize for Kirklees and a real reward, in particular for the clubs of Huddersfield, Batley and Dewsbury getting behind the tournament. Now our challenge back is for people to come watch the game and support the tournament.
What's the significant history about the Heritage Centre based here at St George's Square?
It all started back in 2005. Mike Stevenson, one of the local and legendary players of rugby league, played for Dewsbury in Great Britain, went to Australia, playing with Penrith out there, and he was always very keen on rugby league history. And indeed, when he was out in Australia, he hired a railway carriage to promote rugby league history around the grounds and cities of Australia, and he collected some of the key archives. But he always had ambition to come here, not far from his home at Dewsbury, and set up a museum in the very place that Rugby League was born, that is the Northern Football Union, in 1895. And this historic hotel actually hosted the meeting of the clubs that decided to break away from Twickenham all those years ago.
Colleagues, it is now 6:30 PM and I would like to call this meeting to order. We are gathered here as some of the most successful rugby clubs in England. I think all of us are agreed that the amateur rules of the Rugby Football Union, which forbids any type of payment to players, are a disaster for the game of rugby and unfair on our players, the majority of whom are working class men. Rugby football in the north, for every part of the kingdom where most of the players are working class, cannot be honestly carried out under the existing bylaws of of the English Rugby Union, a new rugby union, the Northern Union, must be formed. But before we move to a vote, I would like to go round the room and ask each club to state their opinion. Mr. Goodall, would you like to go first?
Jack Goodall, Batley. Although rugby was started in public schools, now in the north it is a game for everyone, especially miners, dockers and textile factory workers. No one should lose wages for playing rugby, so it is only right that the Northern Union allow its clubs to make what has become known as broken time payments to the players that have to take time off work to play rugby.
Charles Holdsworth, Dewsbury. Although our fans and players seem to be in favour of the Northern Union, my committee would suggest that we do not break away from Rugby Union. We may still be able to make broken time payments for our players. We will therefore not resign from Rugby Union and will not join the Northern Union.
John Clifford, Huddersfield. I believe the payment of working men players for loss of wages due to playing in a rugby match is not professionalism. If broken time payments were not allowed, rugby would become a game for the upper classes, not the masses.
Jake Work. In League, we have reached the end of our tether with the Rugby Union. Last year, we were banned from playing for 10 weeks and forbidden from charging spectators just because we held players in financial trouble and paying the hotel bills of 2 of our Welsh players.
John Hampshire, Lewis. I think the Northern Union is a champion move. I think the committee would have been justified making the move a year ago.
Turning back to reading from Manningham. It is my opinion that this new union is properly conducted, and the Rugby Union has to recognise professionalism in some form or another in the future.
Thank you, everyone. I would now like to put a following motion to the vote. That the clubs here represented decide to form a Northern Rugby Football Union and pledge themselves to push forward without delay its establishment on the principle of payment for bona fide and broken time only. All in favour, please raise your hand. All those against the motion, please raise your hand. And declare the motion carried. From this moment, we resign from the Rugby Football Union and proceed to build the Northern Union.
And today, of course, particularly significant, we're hosting the launch of the 2013 Rugby League World Cup.
The George Hotel, of course, plays a significant role in the heritage of Huddersfield, and visitors come from far and wide to see the birthplace of Rugby League and to have the opportunity to find out more about the history of this thrilling and exciting game. Huddersfield is proud to be known as the place where Rugby League started, and the game is firmly rooted right across Kirklees. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a unique opportunity to mark the past and to celebrate the historical significance of the George Hotel. At the same time, we can ensure that future generations can learn about and enjoy the rich heritage of the game. And now, it is with a certain degree of pride that I am delighted officially to unveil the blue plaque which commemorates the birthplace of the Rugby League.
I was born in London, in Hackney. I didn't know anything about rugby league until I started playing the game. But as soon as I came north, I learned about the history of the game, and that Huddersfield was the birth of the game. It was great to see the reenactment by the young kids this morning. And I think a lot of people, more people, should know about the history of the sport.
It's brilliant that it's in Huddersfield, because it's not. People assume it's a done deal because it's Rugby League and it's the George Hotel, that it must come to Huddersfield. So having the tour of the cup starting here is brilliant.
I'm very proud because the Rugby World Cup tour has started here. The trophy will be touched by approximately 4 million people who will travel to several countries, and it's all started here in Huddersfield in St George's Square in the George Hotel.
Huddersfield is the place where the game started. Huddersfield is the place where all those people came across from Lancashire and Yorkshire in 1895 to break away from the rugby union. To actually start the World Cup here today, it's very prestigious. It's massive, fantastic.
I think it's been absolutely brilliant. The highlight for me was the young children playing the part of the meeting on the 29th of August 1895, which were held in that very room, to meet the personalities here today, like David Rose, who actually played the first ever 1954 World Cup for Great Britain, and they bet France in the final. The first ever. 18 players went over to France to play in the World Cup. 5 of them were from the Huddersfield club itself. So Huddersfield, where Rugby League was born, was honoured to have 5 players, and the captain was the Scotsman David Valentine, who was also captain of Huddersfield. So quite a big occasion for Huddersfield itself. So you couldn't have had a more fitting place to have it, and to have the honoured guests here today, and for me to be one of those, it's an absolute privilege.
What was your fondest memory of your father?
Well, lots of good memories about my dad, but one of the early memories is when he bought that cup back home. I'd be about 3 at the time. He lived in our front room for a week or two. We didn't realise it was worth as much money as we just found out it was today. And being put inside the cup when I was about 3 years old. But lots of happy memories.
I want England to do well. I really want them to do well. It's about time we did. The last time we won the World Cup in 1972, we haven't won a major competition since internationally. So it's about time. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.